welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the playlist. We have finally completed our 5 days assignments, which are in total 10 assignments, and we have successfully completed this intensive course. The last part that is left is the Capstone project. If you're interested, you can go ahead and do it. Otherwise, it's an optional one. If you ask me, I recommend that you go ahead and give it a try, because even if you participate, you would earn a badge and a certificate on Kaggle profile. And if you happen to be among the top 12 winners, you will receive Kaggle swag and have your work featured on Kaggle's social media platforms. So this is actually a good way to boost your confidence and understand how much you have learned. Just to help you out a little more, I'm going to show you what I have created to participate in this project competition. I'll click on this, which is Agents Intensive Capstone project. You have to add your write-ups here, and you can understand the rules from this tab. So you can just go through all of this. To start off with, we'll understand the overview. As you see, this would be closed in next 4 days, and I think it's more than enough to create a AI agent and submit it. Now, the first thing is what all is required for you to make your project eligible for this hackathon. Firstly, you have to select one track out of the 4 options that have been provided to us. One is a concierge agent, next is agents for good, enterprise agents, or freestyle. For my submission, I've used a concierge agent. Next is that writing your write-up. When you are putting data about what exactly you're building, you should make sure that it has a problem and a solution pitch, okay, to which you build your agent. For the example here given is about writing blogs. It says that writing blogs is too manual and time intensive. So I'll be building an automated blog writer agent to scale my blog production and blog quality. My concierge agent that I'm working with, that I have submitted, is an agent which is basically a AI learning planner, which not only just tells what a person needs to read, but provided the week schedule, the agent will plan it out for that person. So if a person can have 3 hours in a week every day, then accordingly the agent will provide the user with a plan. Next part is to develop and publish the code, and that has to be publicly so that the team can access, the judges can access it. You can publish it to GitHub or Kaggle Notes. I have done it on Kaggle Notes itself. Next is you need to be able to articulate the value of the agent by preparing a write-up, the one that I just spoke about. So you will go to the write-up as well of my project, so you can understand how exactly you should be writing it for your own agent. Next is bonus point. You can publish a video related to the project. Basically, you can record the screen, what you have been doing, how you created it, and how it is working, and then have a YouTube link of it and paste it in your write-up. And that gives you an extra 10 points for the project. All right, so we are on this write-ups page now. This is the agent that I have submitted. This is my write-up. And below you can scroll down and see what other people have submitted. Okay, see, you have the person who has submitted it and what they have submitted. You can also select these tags and find out which track they have used to understand what type of projects have been submitted. You can just go through them and also see what exactly the project is like. So the one which says this, it's viewable when the hackathon closes. Few people don't want to share it publicly so that other people can copy the idea, but there are few people who are okay because they are learning and they are not very keen of getting into the top 12, so they would just share it with others also, so that they can learn from it. My submission is also public right now, so if anybody wants to go through it, I'll put it in the description. You can go through it and try to make yours as well. I'm clicking on my submission. So this is a submission, and it says you can make changes until the deadline. Okay, if I click here, it says retrack and says delete. Retrack means basically I'm taking this out of the hackathon. I'm pulling back my nomination from a hackathon. It's because you can only do one submission per project. You cannot make multiple attempts. So you have to be very careful before you submit. Okay, let me just do it this way. Let me show you the draft first. So you have to click here on the top right. Okay, and it says create new write-up. Over here you will see you have to write the basic details like the title, then explain the subtitle of it, put a thumbnail, select the track here, which track you're going with, which one you're selecting, and then you have to add the photos or videos. We use basically the YouTube video, and other images and screenshots of your code and how it is behaving here in the gallery. Next is you have to use almost 1500 words, not more than that, to describe your agent, to describe your project, and that should be mostly markup. what all you need to tell here is the problem statement. What's the problem that you're trying to solve here? And then why are you using that particular agent or that particular track? What are you created, like overall architecture, which tools you have used and everything. Then a demo, like what happens when you put a certain response, how you're expecting this agent to respond. The build, basically the technologies that you're using. And if there's anything further that you would want the judges to know, then you can just put it there. And also you can just mention like, this is something that I've done, but you can do some advancements to it. All right, so once you put everything, and as soon as you start typing in this mark here, the checklist here starts getting a check mark. So we have 6 things to complete. So for example, I put in a title saying test. So you see, I've got the title done. Why it says subtitle check? Because it's optional. It's up to you if you want to put it or not. So you get a tick here. Now thumbnail, if you upload something, you will get the same. You have to select the submission track. In my case, I selected this one. So you see, it also got checked. And the project description now, it's already filled in. That is why it says this, but you have to start writing about it. Okay. And the project link is something that you would need to update here, which would be basically the link to your GitHub or the link to your Kaggle notebook. That's something you'll put here. If you have any other link that you want to add here, that also you can put it here. So once you fill in this will become enabled, and then you can add another link. Okay. And once everything is done, the submit button becomes enabled, and it's activated. You can submit. Until then, you will only have this option that you can keep saving the draft. Okay, so I'm canceling this because I've already my write-up done. In my write-up, I'll tell you what all I have done. I've written the problem statement. So this is the picture that describes my concierge agent, wherein it will give the user a personalized weekly plan, how they have to study, what all contents they have to study per day. The problem that I have mentioned here is AI learners and content creators struggle with too many scattered resources, no structured weekly learning path, and hard to stay consistent with limited time, low motivation without guidance. So, this leads to wasted hours, stalled progress, and burnout. So this is the problem. Now, the solution that I'm proposing here is having a personalized concierge assistant. What will it do? It will understand the learner's goal, level, hours per week, curates relevant AI and YouTube creation tasks, generates dynamic weekly plan like 3 days, 5 days, or 7 days, then keeps the user engaged through actionable steps, tailors workload to match the time availability. So if it's a working professional and can only give 3 hours per week or per day, then accordingly the agent will plan out everything for that person. So the outcome here is consistent learning habits, improved content creation confidence. All right. Now, what are the technical implementations that we would be doing here? So we'll have a coach agent and a planner agent delegation. Then the tools that we'll use is search resources and build schedule. Agent tool calling is basically a planner which will be exposed to another agent tool. Sessions, memory and sessions we'll use is in-memory session service, which we have been using in our previous exercises. Observability is for clean logging and tracking. Agent evaluation, it's basically automated outputs and graceful error handling. All right. Model, the usual 2.5 Flash, the Gemini model that we'll get through the Google Gemini API. Framework is Google ADK, and platform we are using is Kaggle Notebook. If you want, you can use GitHub. You can use an environment outside of Kaggle as well. Now the next one is agent evaluation. What we are going to do here is the evaluation harness validates response contains the daily structure like day 1, day 2, day 3, time awareness, how many hours per week that will be reflected. It will also provide a learner friendly plan and non-empty coherent output. So what are the rate limit errors that we'll have? So for a free tier API, we'll prevent notebook crashes. We'll use this so that continuous execution is gracefully, and it prints friendly status messages. So you can go through all of this details of my write-up. I'll share this link in the description so you can go through and understand what it is. It's public. If you see here at the bottom, I have created this a day before, and this is the Kaggle notebook. I'll show you how to link it towards the end of this video. I'm going to click on this so that we see what code I have done. So I can edit and I can change it here. All right, I can share it from here. I've already done that. So this is public if you see. So this is where you share. You want to keep it private, you select here, and you can just add your collaborators so only they can access it. With public, everyone who has the link with them can access it. So this will show you what all I have done in my notebook. It will show the runtime as well. So for me, the runtime is 60 seconds, which is like 1 minute. You run this, and in a minute, you will have the agent up and running. Okay, so now coming to the editable section. Over here, the first thing that I have done is to install, import, and add the API key, which is the basic first step. Next is I have described the project over here in a markdown, and I've added an image here just to show the startup of how exactly this looks. And once I run it, it would show up something like this. So I have this ID. I have added this here in the dataset. I'll tell you how you can add it towards the end. And then you take this and put the image ID here in the code. So I'm going to run it and see. This is how the picture comes up. It says become an AI product manager. Now the next thing here is I'm going to call up all the tools, which is like research tool and dynamic weekly planner, which I have mentioned in my technical implementation. The tools I'm using is search resources and build schedule. So over here, you see this research tool. I have defined it here for each day, like if it's in 1 hour training, what it should be. If it is 2 hours, it's 1.5 or 1. That's the titles to curate. Next is build schedule. The build schedule will basically look back into this based on the dynamic number provided by the user. It can be 3, 5, or 7 or anything. So it says like if it is less than 3, then you active 3. If it is per hours is like less than 6, you have to active 5, and if it is otherwise it's 7. Okay, and similarly I have added the functions here, and it will return the active days, the hours per week, and the schedule. The planner will basically use this this search resource and this build schedule as the agent tool for them. So now let me just run this first. Okay, so this is done. Next is the planner agent. So I'll run this as well. The planner agent will basically use the search resources and the build schedule. And the planner tool, which will create, is basically using the planner agent. Similarly, we'll do a coach agent, which will now here use the planner tool. Okay, and the description for these two is for this for planner agent, it says that this planner agent builds weekly plans. Instruction is extract goal level and hours per week from the structured input, which means information provided here. Call search resources to get resources, and build schedule to create a dynamic weekly plan. Okay, and then provide a friendly and structured plan, friendly explanation and a structured plan. Next comes the description for this. So basically, it's a front door conversational learning concierge, and says you have to call this planner tool to delegate planning. So basically, whatever the information comes in, this coach agent will delegate that information to the planner agent. This planner tool will work with search resources and build schedule to provide the information about the structured plan. Now we'll be doing helper functions because we are in Kaggle notebook. If you are doing this outside Kaggle notebook, you don't need this helper function. Then you also have to define runner and session irrespective. I'm running this now. This is done. So we have got a session ID here. So the first session is, so we are calling this app a learning concierge and the user as student. So we have updated the information like the session service as in-memory service and in-memory session service. So session has got this, should get this information, and then the session ID is created. Runner will run using this information. Then we'll have ask agent, which is basically the message from the user, which is this user. So you will have user and the session ID which is created. So you will check what the message has come from the user for this session ID, and based on that you will frame your final response. Okay, now in demo we are asking the agent like, I want to learn AI for YouTube content. I'm beginner level. I have 5 hours per week. So here you got the plan. It says here's your personalized 5-day plan to kickstart your journey in learning AI for YouTube content creation, designed for beginners and spread across 5 hours a week. And this is how it gives you the 5 hours information. Okay, dedicate 1 hour to Google Gemini for beginners, then build your first agent hands-on, etc., etc., etc. And says this plan aims to provide a balanced introduction to both AI fundamentals with Google Gemini and agent building, alongside essential YouTube content creation and script writing skills. Enjoy your learning. This basically is not just a weekly learning plan, but it also provides a friendly context, like it's a friendly explanation. That was a part of our instruction to provide a structured plan along with a friendly explanation to it. Next, we'll do a evaluation harness. So here we are testing 2 responses. One is for 3 weeks and one is for 3 hours per week, and another is for 8 hours per week for intermediate and beginner. So here we're saying I want to catch up on AI agents, beginner 3 hours per week, and I want to become advanced in AI skills, intermediate 8 hours. So we are taking the prompt string, checking the days in that plan and the number of hours what is mentioned, and if it has the text on the plan and number of hours mentioned, then there will be no error. However, if anything of this is false, then there has to be an error string mentioning what the error is. Okay. Now next is we are printing this evaluate prompt. You see test one is here is your weekly plan to catch up on AI agents, and it says, the 3-day plan is Google Gemini for beginners, build your first agent, and YouTube intro content 1 hour each. It says you'll be actively learning for 3 days in this week, dedicating 1 hour each day. Enjoy diving into the world of AI agents. So this is a valid plan. It is true. Next one, it's basically here's a possible plan to help you become advanced in AI skills with an intermediate level, 8 hours per week dedicated to learning. Over here, the 8 hours have been divided as 1.1 for 6 days. Okay, and it says this is true. This is also a valid plan. Okay, now this is another image that I have inserted here because I wanted something before I close the project. This basically is like a cover image. It says, this is how the dynamic weekly planner will look. So it will have like day 1, day 3, day 7, and what all you have to, what all the you will be learning, kind of thing. Next is the final submission. So this is basically a small write up that I have. So whoever is reading the notebook and have not gone to the write up would understand what all we have here. So it says, you have a coach agent which takes the data from planner agent. The tools we are using here is search and build, sessions and memories in memory service. Dynamic planning includes 3, 5, 7 day based on hours per week. Evaluation harnesses again, we are checking if the plan is valid, structure, and it's graceful error handling. Observability console logs show it tool execution, and learner values basically personalized plan and creator bucket. And this is the last image, which is a thank you image for my project. So it says thanks for watching. Now I'll tell you how I got these images here. So over here you can click on add input from the notebook itself, or you can click from here in the data set and bring a new data. Okay, click on the new data set and add all your files, whatever pictures you have, you add it here. So now you can put everything in this. And once you come back to your notebook, over here you have an option to add input. You click on here, which is basically add a data set. So you will have an option. So I don't want to remove it because this is already submitted. You will have an option asking to upload. You click on it, it will show you the available data sets that are part of your notebook or your project. Select the one which you is relevant and then start adding it. So yes, once this is done, when you click on share and you have this link, copy it and put it in your write-up. You can add it here. I'll share the link of the write-up itself so that you will have access to everything. Please let me know if you have any questions or if you encounter any issues when you are creating your project. I'll be more than happy to help you on that part. I hope you understood and liked this video. And this is the end of the series. And if you're liking the playlist, please subscribe to this channel and do share the playlist with others who would want to learn this course, who would want to understand how an agentic AI is built. I'll be uploading more playlists about different courses and different concepts so that you can learn more at your own pace. Thank you for watching.